So here's the deal. So much has changed in the last 5 to 6 years, a lot seems unrecognizable socially, economically, physically. A lot of the places that I grew up with, the things that I maybe took for granted are changing. But we must accept that circumstances change. Circumstances change. And a lot of circumstances have changed. We also must accept the present, okay? We must accept the truth of the present. And there are no promises. Hey, a lot of us grew up with expectations. Maybe we were promised a certain quality of life or way of life. You would be able to afford groceries and rent and houses. And circumstances change. And we can sit here and say, well, it's unfair, The system should be different. I shouldn't have to work 3 jobs to afford a house, and I shouldn't have to do insane things to make ends meet. Our parents were lucky. And for some of us, maybe our grandparents too. They lived in a microcosm of time where things were easier, where you didn't have to work like crazy, and you didn't have to sacrifice as much. And you could have a family, and you could, just work one job and be comfortable and live a happy life. But that set of circumstances, you have to understand, is so rare throughout history. And make no mistake, a lot was sacrificed to get there, to get to that point in history. A lot was sacrificed. Wars were fought for that freedom. But circumstances change. And maybe they thought that they would be able to pass those circumstances on to us, but maybe not. Maybe not. And there's really no point in wishing that the circumstances were different. We have to accept them like they are. In a perfect world, you shouldn't have to work like crazy to afford food and rent and a roof over your head, but those are just the circumstances right now. And humans adapt. It's why we've lasted this long. There's been worse circumstances in history, and your ancestors kept living. That's why you're here. They found a way, and you can find a way too. But first you have to accept this, okay? You have to accept this. Never, ever place your bets on a promise, okay? Never accept any guarantee that anybody gives you, because there are no guarantees. There are none. There are none. The only thing that's promised in this life is that it will end. for everybody, okay? You, me, Jeff Bezos, King Charles, Jojo Siwa, okay? Mr. Beast, I don't care who you are. Your mom, your dad, your dog, okay? God bless, but that's the only guarantee. We will all pass from this life. It will come to an end for every single one of us. And you only have a certain amount of time, a very small window of time in the cosmic scale. A very small window of time. And you're not gonna feel 100% that entire window. You're not gonna feel present every day. You're not gonna feel healthy every day. You're not gonna feel at your best every day. You're not gonna be as economically prominent throughout that entire window. There might be economic upturns and downturns. Things could go well and things could go south, and probably both will happen in that time. But it's a very, very small window. So what I want from you is to accept the circumstance that your only guarantee is that you're going to die. And ask yourself, what do you want to do in that period of time? Knowing that you will die and accepting that, what do you want to do with that period of time? What's left for you? Where do you want to go? What sets your heart on fire? What's your thing? What's the thing that could drag you out of bed any morning, every morning, whenever, wherever, however, as many times as it can? Find it and do it, because circumstances will change. A job might not take you as far as you thought it was going to. A roof over your head might not be possible. But if your dream is to have a roof over your head, then you make it come true no matter what, because that's what humans do best. We manifest into reality through sheer will alone. We picture something and then we just make it happen through choices. This is the fundamental separation between us and the animal kingdom. We are a part of the animal kingdom, but animals cannot manifest into physical form in the same way that we can, okay? I believe that animals can have ideas, but they can't in the same way as humans bring them to reality. Somebody wanted to be able to share images, so they invented a camera. That didn't exist before. In the natural world, that does not exist, okay? It doesn't exist. There is no capturing the moment in still image for all of eternity. There was only the passing and fleeting moment, and that was it. And you had to see it with your own eyes to appreciate it, and everything else was completely unaware of its existence. Television. Somebody wanted to be able to share stories. A light bulb, for God's sakes. Everything, an airplane. It was all brought into reality through sheer will. Okay? So if your dream is to have a roof over your head, make it happen. Don't worry about the circumstances. Find a way. Get creative. It might not be from your job. It might be from finding some other way, another source of income, or from following your heart, and you come through twists and turns and pathways, and what do you know? Suddenly you're housed and you own your home and it's mortgage free, and you have no idea how you got there. But it wasn't from doing what everybody else told you was the right thing. I guarantee you that much. Anyways, circumstances change. They always have and they always will. So trust yourself. Trust your gut if you're unhappy. If you feel like there's something else that you should be doing. If every day you wake up and you're like, oh, I want to do that, but I have to do this. Do that. See what happens. Bet on yourself. Take a risk. You never know.